Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. Happy Sunday, y'all. Man, it's been a wild weekend. You guys are absolutely amazing. This community is, I'm just like thinking about it. I'm like, man, do I have 2 streams today? I know I did 2 streams yesterday. They were both planned just by me. It had nothing to do with, super chat goals or anything like that, which is amazing when when we're able to reach those, because that's how we unlock streams like the one we're going to have later on tonight. Because last night during the 40th anniversary celebration of Jason Lives, we reached a super chat goal. So yeah, guys, I have to figure out what the heck we're going to do tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. Maybe we can put it to a vote. How about that? Welcome on in, everyone. I hope you guys are having a great day. It is just after 3 p.m. on the East Coast here in the United States, and just after 8 p.m. across the pond. How about it if you're out in the UK? If you're somewhere else, jump into the chat. Let me know. I'm very curious to know. Yeah, let's jump on in. I'm gonna say what's up to you guys. Man, there's already super chats flying in. This is crazy. You guys are amazing. If you want to have a second hour of Chill Horror Hangout, Chill Sunday Horror Hangout, then 5 super chats within or $5 or more within the next hour, and we'll unlock that. Well, technically within the next about 49 minutes. How about that? So not a big deal if we don't reach the goal. Whatever. I'll still be back tomorrow night. Or tonight, actually. Tonight, and for members, channel members, I'll be back tomorrow night. But yeah, guys, really, originally I was thinking, oh, it would be cool to just do Write the Sequel right here today. Now I got the, the poll up and everything. By the way, I'm going to share that link to the poll in the chat. Because guys, pretty much it's deadlock. Well, this morning it was like a complete tie between Halloween and Scream as far as which franchise you guys want to jump into. So what I thought we would do is we'll table Write the Sequel. It'll be next week. I want to curate, I want to make sure these polls have a little bit more life to live, so that way we're getting as many people's opinions involved. But really, guys, I've already put a poll in the chat today about these 2, and man, it's about a 50-50 again, because I figured, well, the people that actually show up for Chill Sunday Horror Hang, if that's when we're going to do Write the Sequel, or at least the first edition of Write the Sequel, then I might as well just poll you guys directly, because you're actually here on the stream, but it's 57% for Halloween, 43% for Scream. And then here, if you would like to vote on the community poll, let's see here. I mean, voting here is a-okay. It gives me a good idea of like where you guys sit. If you want to be part of the greater community poll, there are more options. TCM is in there, and The Evil Dead is in there as well. So you can vote to your heart's desire there. I'll pin that in the chat. Some of you may have already voted. Thank you so much. But yeah, right away I was like, oh my gosh, it's pretty much deadlocked between Halloween and Scream, with Halloween getting the nod. It looks like that's the trend here as well, so we'll probably lean towards that. And nothing against my Scream fanatics in the community. I love you guys. I'm a big Scream fan as well. I get it. You guys love Scream. I know some people are just sort of, there's Scream fatigue. There's so much Scream fatigue, in fact, that Halloween is winning out, even though it's a longer running franchise. But yeah, let me jump in, say what's up to you guys. This is going to be a relatively chill hang. And yeah, and no matter how we go with Write the Sequel, guys, really, like, it'll probably take a few of these live streams for us to really figure it out and settle in. So even if Scream isn't the movie that gets picked this time around, like, we're probably going to jump in and cover Scream. So, and if you're a huge Scream fan and also a channel member, we did a horror franchise autopsy on Scream, which was a lot of fun. So, and that just sort of goes through what they've done that's worked, what they've done that hasn't worked, and the direction we would like to see them take in the future. So it's a little bit of a precursor to writing a sequel. But I'm going to jump on over, say what's up to every one of you in the live chat, and yeah, we'll just get cruising here. We got Paula Fitzhenry, one of our great channel members. What's happening, Paula? Welcome on in. We got Jen in the house. Jen, it is so great to see you, one of our awesome channel members who unfortunately we just don't see very much, but it's amazing to have Jen join us. Hope you're doing very, very well, miss. Always a pleasure to see you. We got Gene Whitacombe. How are you doing, Gene? Welcome on in. Holy cow. Linda G. What's happening, Linda? Welcome, welcome. I hope you're doing so very well this weekend. Paula wants that 2-hour stream. Thank you so much for the $5, Paula. Emoji Matt jumping in with a $5 super chat as well. Says, what is a shark's favorite Power Ranger monster? The jaws of destruction. Low, 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 low. I love the low, 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 low. I love that as a, I'm going to do that instead of just LOL. I'm going to really lol it up. It'll be a lol, lol, lol. You know what? I'll tell you this, Emoji Matt. I am of the generation, like I was born in 1982. So yeah, there were definitely, kids in my class and of my age that watched Power Rangers, get home from school and watch Power Rangers. I don't know what I was doing at that age. In 93, 94, I was probably going home and putting on MTV because I was getting into like punk rock and grunge and stuff like that. So I wanted to see like Smashing Pumpkins and Green Day on TV, or I wanted to go home and listen to like Pennywise records and stuff like that. So I caught some Power Rangers shows and stuff when I was a kid. And I don't know, maybe this is considered first generation, like the old school, like this is like 93, 94. But never watched any of the movies or really got into the show. But when I was a little kid, I was a Voltron fan and a Transformers fan. So it's kind of a little bit of a Power Rangers vibe there. We got our guy Foz Rotten in the house. What's happening, Foz? Great to see you, bud. Great to see you. Hope you are doing well. Yes, guys, please remember to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing, because I go live way too often. One of my secret watchers was like, you're going live all the time. And I was like, all right, okay. Thanks for letting me know. I know that. I know, because I'm the one going live. What's happening, Astro Juicy? Welcome on in, venturing over from Twitch land. Zach, oh my gosh, Zach, I met another hardcore Titanic fan the other night. I was at an event, and little did I know, I guess there's got to be a subculture of Titanic fans out there, right? It can't just be a couple. I mean, it's the friggin' Titanic. But you immediately popped into my head. I was like, if this person would have any idea what I'd be talking about, I would go over and tell them about my channel and this guy Zach that's a big Titanic fan. But sometimes my brain just says, you know what, you just let this person live their life. Welcome on in, Zach. Welcome in, Christine. Hope you are doing very, very well. Jen says, or celebrating 5 months of channel membership. Thank you so very much, Jen. And says, I wanted to be here to hang out and celebrate Wes Craven's birthday. Is today his actual birthday and I'm just a big old dum-dum? Should we turn the stream later on into a celebration stream? It is his actual birthday. 1939. Oh my gosh. Wow. Man, we lost him way too soon. 76 years when he passed away. I get it. No, I'm not saying that 76 years isn't a life fully lived or anything like that, especially with everything Wes was able to accomplish, right? But it still seems like we were robbed of a good 10 years, 15 years, you know what I mean? Something like that. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to turn this stream here into a little bit of a celebration of Wes, or should we do that later on tonight? Should we have a little birthday party for Wes Craven later on tonight? That could be fun. That could be really fun. Let me see what else we got going on here. We got Luke Ponto in the house. What's happening, Luke? Says, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. I am doing well. Very busy with the streams. Very busy with the streams lately. But yeah, I hope you're having a great weekend. Luke, what are you getting up to, man? What did you get into this weekend so far? What's happening, Hollywood Lito, one of our great channel members. And guys, if you missed the stream from earlier on yesterday, the fight for Freddy, our guy Lito joined us on that stream. It was a really succinct conversation in chat. I mean, anytime I'm opening my mouth, there's going to be words that don't necessarily have to be there, and some time technically wasted, I suppose. But I think Lito and I kept the convo nice and tight and focused. And yeah, if you're interested in hearing any postulation on this A Nightmare on Elm Street remake news or reboot news, whatever's going on with Paramount and Warner Brothers, jump into that stream from yesterday. Yeah, you'll get a calm, nuanced analysis. How about that? Welcome on in, Lito. We got Dot hanging out with us. What's happening, Dot? Welcome on in. Hope you're doing very well. We've got my chunky Jordy. What's happening, Gina? One of our great channel members, long-standing channel member here at the Davey Deathray channel. And we got Skittles, or Steph, as we know her. Steph, thank you so much for the 2 jewels. What are you up to today, Steph? Are you playing any video games? My gal, Jade Infinite, I think she's wrapping up the... what is it? The Assassin's Creed, the pirate version, the remake of the pirate Assassin's Creed. She's wrapping that one up. I think Skittles, Steph, if I can call you Steph. Steph, did I see you over? Did you get a membership gifted over on Liz's channel just the other day? I thought I saw your name pop up in there. So I love that. I love it. Thank you. Yes, if you don't hit the like button, no snuggles from Ziggy Puppy Pup. And he might, Gina might sick him on you. So you don't want to get, Ziggy sicked on you. Not at all. Yeah. And so many different, there's the big ones, A Nightmare on Elm Street and obviously Scream. But then there's the in-betweens that, I haven't seen every single Wes Craven movie. It's true. But there are the in-betweens that are really damn solid too. I really enjoy Serpent in the Rainbow. That's one I dig quite a bit. We can dive into his IMDb. That would be cool. Even the movies that he helped produce and usher along, I believe he's a producer on the original Wishmaster, which I quite enjoy and has a Wes Craven kind of feel. I think Howard Berger, the effects artist, I think he directed that one. That might have been his first directing job. But yeah, Wes, just like a lot of writer, director, producers, it's not even just their career, that they were able to give us. They were able to lift up the careers of others or, push people or, help usher people and other performers into, greater heights. Jen drops a $5 chat. She wants to write the prequel for Scream. Ooh. So write the sequel. You want to write the prequel. Okay. We could do that. In Write the Sequel, we could, make an exception and do a prequel. Really, here, I'll explain it to you guys for everyone that's here now. And then that way, next week, when you come hang out and we write a sequel, you know exactly what to expect. So what I will do is I've put that poll out there to see which franchise you guys want to jump into. That's the first step. Which franchise are we tackling? Okay, boom. So we figured that out, or we're figuring that out. 74 votes, and it's leaning more towards Halloween than it was just a minute ago. And then we will pick where in the timeline. That'll be the next thing. And I think I'll just ask you guys that right at the beginning of the stream, right? Everyone that shows up to actually do the writing. So if Halloween ends up winning this thing, I'll put another poll out just for the folks in the live chat, and it'll be like, look, are we doing a direct sequel to the first movie? Are we doing a sequel to the second movie? Are we doing a sequel in the Thorn, or are we doing something that's fresh and modern for today? That kind of thing. And then we'll just sort of launch it from there. So Jen, in your case, once we get to Scream, I will put in there that we could, as an option that, hey, we could write a prequel. One sec. Man, I am a sneezy bitch lately. I don't know what to say. So yes, Jen, we could put that in there. Once it comes time for Scream to be the subject of Write the Sequel, we could put a prequel there as an option. How about that? Yeah, what do they have? Is it just one sequel, or did they actually make a third Darkman? I can't even remember. I know there's at least 2. Yeah. We could definitely veer into some stuff like that, Christine. I figured for getting us going and starting, we would start with some more of the juicy, big 3, or just the franchises that people know so well. But yeah, we can definitely, I want to keep this thing going. It's a really fun way to just mix things up and just make things different when we meet up for streams. So yeah, nothing to say we couldn't do something fun for Darkman, something like that. I hear you. And that's the thing, Gina, is there's there's the one side, there are people that are like, I'm so sick of it. And then there still are folks out there that are like, I can't ever get enough Scream. You know what I mean? I see it in the polls and I see it in the comments for sure. So I totally understand. I know that we've got some people in the community that are just like, oh my gosh, can this thing just go away? I get it. I totally get it. But then, man, the numbers kind of speak for themselves. I mean, so just to break it down right now for you guys, we have 70, let's see here, the poll that's on the community tab that's pinned in the chat right now. We have 74 votes. Texas Chainsaw Massacre has 19% of those. Halloween has 38. The Evil Dead has 11 and Scream has 32. When I woke up this morning, Halloween and Scream were like deadlocked. It was like 35 each or something like that. So it's relatively tight between Halloween and Scream, which is why I'm asking you guys here today. We got Asha, one of our great channel members, jumping on in. He says Scream can get in the bin for a while. As you said, there's a lot of Scream fatigue at the moment. Give the franchise time to breathe. Well, they are definitely not going to do that, but we can. It looks like we're going to talk about Halloween next week. So maybe you're sick of Halloween too. But I think you can make the argument that we could be sick of all of these, any franchise. I think Christine, you bring up a good point just by, we could talk about a franchise that doesn't have a lot of sequels. And we could we really could do that. Like we could jump in and write like a Candyman sequel. Like, hey, let's just imagine it's 1998. We've got Tony Todd and we want to do another, Candyman movie or something like that. That's the fun with this. It's just an exercise. It's a creative exercise. So it gets the juices flowing. It allows us to play in whatever sandbox we want, and it allows us to, do things like, if we wanted to write a Candyman sequel and we want to imagine that it's Tony Todd in our Candyman sequel, then hell yeah. When we write our Scream prequel, if we want to be like, this is going to be written by Kevin Williamson and directed by Wes Craven, we're just putting together the treatment for him. We could have a lot of fun. So, yeah. I mean, I wanted to throw Evil Dead out there just because I know there's got to be some people out there like me that are just the total weirdos that would opt for that. I put TCM in there because we know we're getting one probably within the next couple years, with Curry Barker being announced. So I would imagine by, 2028, 2029, we should have a TCM movie. So I'm like, oh, well, that would be cool for us to jump in and like, what would we do? So I felt like those were a good smattering of horror franchises, and we can shake it up. Next time we could do a creature feature one, we could do like Pumpkinhead, Alien, and throw in a couple other franchises that are like creature feature, something like that. Yeah, I hear you. I think Scream 7's pretty all right. I think it's pretty dang solid. I liked it more than 5 and 6, if that helps at all, Gina. It's true. And, part of walking the tightrope here as a content creator is like, I, of course, want to cover things that people are interested in that are, have caught fire at the moment, right? It's a great way to bring new people to the channel and help the community grow. Just people will see Scream's name on something and you will get randos that show up. And which is great, most randos are great randos. I think most of you guys started out as, at least in the minds of your boy Davey Deathray. At some point, it seems like, oh, this person randomly showed up or they stumbled upon this. Maybe a friend did invite you though. But it's a great way to grow the community. So sometimes when things are really popping, like when we actually have Scream news for the next sequel, like, yeah, I'm going to cover it. I'm not going to talk about it every single day like some channels out there that I won't name, but good God, dude. Like, yeah, when Scream 7 was out, it was like, so we're really going to talk about, we're just going to go through the same cycle of what ifs and postulation 4 times a week, maybe 5 times a week is what it was for some channels out there. So that's their business. We're not going to do that here, but we will talk about the news that pops up. And then, yeah, we're going to have chill horror hangs where, people want to talk about Scream and we're going to talk about Scream. What's happening? Burly Kev. That's a cool nickname. I have not seen Devil's Mouth. I have missed out on, I did not see The Bay. I didn't see the whole thing of, what was the one with the plane crash and the sharks? what was that called, with Aaron Eckhart, and somehow Ben Kingsley was in there just not giving a fuck at all, just like zero acting charisma. I didn't even know that was possible for Ben Kingsley. But yeah, I've missed out on a lot of the bad shark movies so far this year. And I'm just calling them bad shark movies. I don't know if they're bad or not. I did see Hungry, the hippo movie. It was very disappointing. The hippo looked really cool, but they hardly showed it. So I was like, oh man, like it would have been cool if I could have seen the hippo a lot more, but it was just dumb. The bay looked interesting and has a mechanical shark, which I think is pretty cool. Like an actual, like, you know, remote control robot, for whatever you want to call it. Devil's Mouth, I don't know. You know, these people go into a cave and there's some sharks in the cave. I think if Catherine Newton isn't in this movie, no one's talking about it. I think that's the thing. That's it for me, is Catherine Newton's there. People think she's cute as a button. I'm not saying she's not. She's definitely got a Betty Boop kind of quality. Like, she just straight up, isn't that crazy? Catherine Newton just straight up looks exactly like Betty Boop. Like, almost the proportions are correct, even with those giant eyes of hers. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh, Jen, you didn't have to age yourself. You know what? Young in heart, though. You know what I mean? It's being a horror fan will keep you young. There you go. Yeah, I remember thinking, like, one of my buddies was into it when we were in like 6th grade, and I remember thinking, dude, we're a bit too old for that. That's like little kid stuff. But I thought I was too old for Sesame Street when I was like 4. You know, I was just like, oh, this is just for kids. Like, my mom was like, why don't you watch Sesame Street? And I was like, it's because it's just for, like, I don't need to learn the alphabet right now. I'm figuring it out. I pay attention in preschool, Mom. Thanks a lot. Class of 84, and I loved Power. Oh, you were born in 80. Well, and that's the thing, is that it really was just a couple years there. Like, yeah, if I were 10 and not 12 when it popped off, maybe I would have liked it a little bit more. But I was, yeah, Transformers, He-Man, and Voltron was kind of like inherited from my older siblings, you know. And then I would say like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was the first like thing of my childhood generation, my childhood era in my life that really, man, Ninja Turtles was like, I mean, my brother Rob and I were like going to KB Toys. Any money we had, we're like, let's go to KB Toys. Let's get one of the characters we don't have yet. It was just a mad dash to get them all. We would take a piece of string and tie it from like a lamp that was, you know, those like hanging lamps, kind of like the old restaurant hanging lamps. That was like in one corner of our split level downstairs family room. And we would take that and we would string it all the way across the room with a little bit of an angle down. And we would have like Donatello would hold his bow, you know, and zip line down the little bit of yarn. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun back then. Emoji Matt with another $5 super chat says, and all form the head. Yes, I'm trying to get the second hour. Boom, little Voltron love there with an all form the head. That is such a funny line. Like, out of context, it's a really interesting sentence that you would never hear outside of the context of Voltron or referencing Voltron. And holy cow, guys, just like that, we reached our super chat goal. You guys crushed it within like 25 minutes. You all are amazing. So you're going to get that second hour. So we are locked in. So I'm not going to be in a rush to run through everything. We're going to take our time here. Take time with a wounded hand. Let's see here. Yeah, the reveal is a little uneventful. I do love the motive, though. Love the motive in Scream 7. Oh my God. Like, it really worked for me. But yeah, they could have laid the groundwork a lot better to have the reveal, I think, have a bigger impact for way more of the audience. I totally get why a lot of the audience didn't dig the reveal. What's happening, Montrese? Welcome on in. Hope you are doing very well. Jiggy, welcome on in. Jigsaw, one of our great channel members, with a $5 super chat to keep on rolling. Keep on rolling. Ooh, roll with the changes. Da-da-da-da. There you go. That'll be like a little, we can clip that sound bite and I'll just use that. You know what? From now on, guys, should I just put together super chat videos? Anytime you guys do a super chat, I just click over to a video. and it's me just being like, oh my gosh, a super chat. Or I do the keep on rolling one just every time Jiggy drops a keep on rolling. There you go. I don't know. What do you think? Thank you so much, Jiggy. Really appreciate you. We are hot. Yes. Wes's birthday party tonight would be fun. Yeah, let's do. I had no idea what to do. I was going to put a poll out here for you guys of like, do you want to do a watch party? I mean, we could do a watch party to celebrate his birthday. There we go. How about that? We need birthday hats. Everybody has to run out to Party City. I don't have enough time to buy them and ship them to you, so you're on your own. But we could do a little, I could go out and get like a little piece of birthday cake or something like that. Why the heck not? Guys, it looks like Halloween's I'm gonna close out this poll because now Halloween's pulled ahead 63% to 37%, and it's still winning in the poll on the community side. So it looks like you guys would be A-okay with either Scream or Halloween, but you're leaning more towards Halloween, so we're cool. And then we'll just see if anything else, if the scales get tipped at all on the community side. But I'm gonna prepare and move forward as if we will be writing a sequel to Halloween somewhere in the franchise. Somewhere in the Halloween franchise, we'll write a sequel. Holy cow, we got M from Horror Her jumping on in. M, I see you down there because I jumped on over to the YouTube side of things because I wanted to start a poll over here. Guys, M from Horror Her, what a gal, what a channel. M, I think if I am not mistaken, you've got some stuff popping pretty quick here. Maybe the first episode of your podcast. I saw something about that. I hope you're doing very, very well, M. I'm going to ask you guys a question here in the poll. What is it going to be? How do you want to celebrate Wes Craven's birthday? Like, how do you want to do it? Do you want to have a watch party? I think that's what Paul is going to say. Watch party. We could just do like kind of like what we did yesterday with Jason Lives, you know? We could just do like a celebration of life and career. How about that? We'll call it that. I mean, really, what else would we do? I'm not going to sit there and put together a bunch of Wes Craven trivia or anything like that, just specific to him, you know what I mean? So watch party, celebration of life and career. Is there something else that we usually do here that we could, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if we do a celebration of life and career, maybe we could get a guest in on that one. I don't know. It would be very last minute, but watch party could be fun. Then we could pick a movie. Yeah, I don't know. We'll do a 50-50. Would you like to use one of your lifelines? Yes, we'll use a 50-50. Here we go. All right. I'm going to catch up with everyone here in the chat. Birthday hats. Gotta get them. Got to get them. Wes was a year younger than my dad and a year older than mom. He had a long life compared to them. Yes. I don't mind talking about Wes, just not the Scream films he had nothing to do with. Sure. I mean, you know, he directed almost half of them. And I would say even the films, more than half because he's directed 4. Yeah. So he's directed a bulk of them. And, you know, even though he didn't direct the ones after that, I still think that Wes stamp, like that DNA is so infused in the franchise that even though Radio Silence doesn't capture, you know, their movies the way that Kevin and Wes captured theirs, there's still that bit in there. You know, it's in there. It's just not as prevalent as it should be. You know what they need to do to reboot properly, and that is the Hellraiser franchise. I know we had that film in 2022, but the aesthetics and tone of the movie were not great and didn't fit the universe. Yeah, I think they were hoping that one was going to be a thing, but you know, I think it was released directly to Hulu. I don't think it had any theatrical release at all, because you know, still dealing with like the tail end of COVID and everything like that. Yeah, I did not like that movie from 2022. I didn't like, it doesn't even bother me like how they went about casting Pinhead, whatever. I didn't like the design, like the way that they made like Pinhead's look just wasn't as cool. I understand that Pinhead is supposed to be androgynous and everything like that, but let's just be honest, like more often than not, when we're talking about something being physically imposing, bigger would usually be more imposing. So I think just a bigger Pinhead would have been cool. And just, I don't know, I like the design, the original design, the outfit that Doug Bradley wears. I like that outfit better than what they did. It seems like in the newer one, they're like, well, we're going to do some things because we can with CG. So we're going to do some things that are just like not very practical, but we're going to do it anyway. And then I know this is like really diving into the deep end of social, political, whatever. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. But the casting is there. There's something interesting with the casting that I was just like, well, that's kind of odd. I'm doing great, Gene. I am doing great. It's been a whirlwind of a weekend with a lot of streaming and stuff like that. I mean, I had Friday off. Friday was a lot of fun. But yeah, just been busy and been taking care of some stuff here at home. And actually, I did get to play some Resident Evil 4 remake last night. That was awesome. I got a new TV set up back there because the old one was on the fritz, let me tell you. Yeah, I think first two. Yeah, did I watch the third one? I think I did watch the third one. Kurtzman, okay, not Howard Berger. Thank you for correcting that part. One of the other parts of K and B. Yeah, first two are fun. First one especially. Jen dropping a $5 super chat says Wes did produce Wishmaster, which is a favorite of mine. We should do a Wes Craven watch party tonight. There you go. Jen wants a watch party. And it's 50-50 right now. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. Thank you for the blessings on the sneeze. What's happening? Joe from Media Poop Shoot. Hope you're doing well, bud. One of our great channel members and Death Squad mods can't stay, but wanted to say hi. We sure do appreciate you, Joe. Thank you for being a channel member and a mod. 3 Darkman films. All right. Yeah. There's a third Darkman. I think it's called Die Darkman Die. That's what that makes me think of is Simpsons. Let's see here. Halloween is a better choice. Haven't heard anything from that franchise in a while apart from the game. Yeah, I think what they've done with Halloween is they're like, hey, remember how we were thinking about doing a show? Well, now everyone's doing those, and we're not everyone. We're Halloween, so we're going to do something different. We're canning the show, and we're just going to get ready for a movie. We're going to reload because Michael Myers doesn't need a TV show to drum up interest or remind people he exists. Michael Myers exists in the minds of the entire global psyche. That's right, people. Michael Myers is basically Dracula at this point. You know, he is just as big, just as mythic, just as epic. And, I guess he's existed for, sure, about a third of the time that Dracula's existed. But whatever. He's way more iconic looking. I'll say that. Dang, best of luck, Merc. Best of luck. Hopefully it's just a cleaning and nothing too crazy. Down the line, it would be fun to write a sequel to a non-franchise horror movie, too. We could do that. We could have an edition that's a one-off. And each movie in the poll would just be a one-off. That we could write a sequel for. That'd be cool. Jiggy wants Ace Ventura 4. We need Ace Ventura 3 first, right? They never did a third one. The Prowler sequel. Man, I want a reboot to that one so bad. I love the Prowler. Yeah. Oh, I really liked it, Jen. I mean, it's in the middle of my ranking. I would say 5 and 6, I would say, are much worse. It's just my opinion, when Kevin's not writing, it's like I can really tell, I think that's one of the things when it comes to that franchise with me. I can spot it when it's not Kevin, or when he's doesn't have a hand in it. You know what I mean? I know he didn't write the initial script for 7, but I know he did go through and do a pass on it. Beyond the Mask shots, is that what you want to do? You want to do Leslie Vernon shots? Gory Tiger. But wait, Leslie Vernon that's just Robert Englund. It's not Wes Craven. Come on, you're getting him confused, Joe. Or you're probably talking about something totally different. Gory, welcome on in, man. Hope you were doing well. I don't even know who you're talking about. Jiggy, I don't know who you're talking, and I'm not even talking about anyone specifically. I mean, I'm talking about a handful of channels specifically, I guess. So it is more of a generalization. It's nothing. I noticed, like, man, there are so many channels that do that, or did that with Scream. And I mean, we talked about Scream a lot here. We did. And usually it was centered around the news or around a trailer dropping, or it was something that maybe you guys voted on that you guys wanted to talk about. But yeah, we talked about it plenty. But I noticed that, like, there are some times where I'm like, man, it literally is the same conversation every day. Every day on some of those streams. It's wild. It is wild to me. And there are a lot of channels that do that. That's why I knew when I made my post about doing the Fight for Freddy stream and having it be on Saturday instead of Friday night, I was like, I know all the click chasing clickbaiters are going to go live and talk about this tonight. And I'm sure I was correct in that. I wasn't able, like, I don't jump into YouTube and see who's doing what. I was just like, I know exactly what this is going to smell like, or I know what this smells like, and I know exactly what it's going to turn into on YouTube. And it's going to turn into a bunch of talking in circles about nothing. The Sharknado movies were so cheesy, but I watched them because I went to college with Ian Ziering. That's awesome. I think Ian's great in those movies. He's really fun. He knows the assignment. He has a lot of, a good time with everything. I think Sharknado is pretty fun. Especially the second one's pretty amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't Catherine Newton kind of like Betty Boop? Yeah. Story was predictable and boring, and the ending really put it down. Yeah, I mean, I just disagree. I've said what I've got to say about Scream 7 1,000 times. Davey, I'm going to come over to play Power Rangers. If you bring over Transformers, we can do that. It's all about TMNT. All about TMNT. Thank you so much, Em. Em, I love your icon there. I love it. Em, did you like do a real photo shoot? Because I know you've got a good collection of masks there. What's happening, Piss Stopperson, one of our great channel members? Hope you're doing well. Much love right back at you, to you and yours, buddy. Ooh, I really liked it, Jen, but I've had all sorts of weird stuff happen in the last year in my personal life, so it really resonated with me. That's all I'll say about that. It is, like the way people feel ownership of you sometimes, because you put yourself on camera. It's wild, Jen. It's wild. Paula wants a watch party. No surprise there. No surprise there at all. Let me just catch up with you guys. Okay, M does have a lot of stuff going. That should be out soon. Davey had too much going on, but I'm working on getting it out. I'll message you. Of course, no worries at all. No worries at all, M. I totally get it. Like, it's life happens and we all get busy. We all getting busy. Oh, well, hopefully we all get busy. I don't know. I rewatched Shallow Grave last night, and it's such an underrated thriller. Have you seen it? Asks Luke Ponto. Luke, I haven't even heard of that movie. Shallow Grave. Let me look it up on the Letterboxd. That way it'll be right in my face. Shallow Grave from 1984. What year did it? There's a whole bunch of movies that came out called Shallow Grave. What year did it come out? Or did you already say that? Looks like there's a handful of those. We could do that too. Yeah, we could do that with the Wes Craven birthday party. Is that what you're saying? Jen made a Scream trivia game. You have a physical version, or did you have a collection of questions that did you do? How did you make it, Jen? Is it like is it a digital game that people can play? Is it like interactive like that? What's happening, Rebel Sky? One of our great channel members dropping a $2 super chat. Says, watch party, Davey. It's very fun kicking it with you. Well, thank you so much, Rebel Sky. I do appreciate it. I love hanging out with you guys. I have a blast every single time. I mean, I keep on coming back for more, and you guys do too. So that's good. We got a mutual thing going on. Hey there, Liz. How are you doing? Hope all is well. Welcome on in. I would imagine at some point today you're gonna enjoy a little video game time, a little stream time yourself. Liz, I got into the Resident Evil 4 remake for the first time in a long time last night, and I totally lost myself in it. It was amazing. It was amazing. We got Jeff, aka Down Is Up, one of our great channel members. How are you doing, Jeff? Welcome on in. Paula wants to watch the original Scream with horror trivia. Ooh, man, is that what we're gonna do? Are we gonna watch the original Scream tonight, guys? That would be wild. I would love a Hellraiser reboot. Me too. I think Hellraiser's really cool. Like, I love the first movie. Second movie's fun. It's not my favorite. Third movie's really cool as well. Sexy 90s kind of, version of Hellraiser. And man, Bloodline, I think, is like pretty damn impressive too. Like, I don't know why people shit all over that movie. I know I've been talking about it a lot lately, but damn, Bloodline, for the movie that everyone's like, oh, fucking Pinhead in space. And it's like, it's so much more than Pinhead space. It's Pinhead in Victorian times. It's Pinhead in modern times. And there might even be another one in there. I can't remember. I thought there were 4, but there might just be 3 timelines. Anyways, or 3 bloodlines. Yeah, I think it's time for Hellraiser to come back. And I don't mind like doing something simple like that first movie. I love how simple that first movie is. Again, it's like Edgar Allan Poe modernized for 1987. Now we could do one, guys, it's been almost 40 years since that first Hellraiser movie. It's crazy. It's all coming up with these anniversaries for these horror franchises and even the sequels. Like last night I was saying, oh yeah, we're doing a 40th Jason Lives celebration. And they're like, oh wow, Friday the 13th is 40 years old. And I'm like, no. The 6th movie in the Friday the 13th franchise is 40 years old. Like, but Friday the 13th is 46 years old. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I haven't seen the newer one, but I'm sad to learn both that there's a recent reboot of Hellraiser and that it was Matt. Some people really liked it. I didn't think there were any characters to root for, and I would like to have somebody that I can kind of root for. In Hellraiser movies, you get a lot of characters that are, they're not the greatest people. It's one of the reasons why they're characters in a Hellraiser movie. It's sort of part of the device of the plot of the whole story, right? But in the first 3 movies, we've got somebody to root for, somebody that's relatively innocent. And I really wish we had something like that in the newer Hellraiser movie. I just couldn't stand any of the characters. I was like, I want them all to go to hell. And then the Cenobites were like, fine. What I was going to say, guys, it's going to be so controversial if I say it. I'm like, I struggle to even wonder if I should bring it up. So here, I'll just say it plain as day. Yes, Pinhead is supposed to be androgynous. Pinhead is supposed to be pretty much non-binary. Is kind of like, I haven't read the Telltale Heart or the Hellbound Heart. I know I get it confused with Edgar Allan Poe because it's kind of Edgar Allan Poe and the name is very similar. But I haven't read the original text myself, but I've done my digging, however much digging it takes. And yeah, Pinhead is supposed to be like neither a man nor a woman, like right in between. Can't really tell. Probably all the Cenobites are supposed to be that way. So I don't really mind if they pick like guys or girls to play Cenobites. In the 2022 remake, they did pick a man that had transitioned to, appearing like a woman. So I found it kind of odd to where it's like, okay, so wait, so Pinhead is supposed to be androgynous and we're on paper, we'll be able to say that we hired a woman to play this role, but it's a little more nuanced than that, right? So I just thought it was really interesting. I'm like, wow, what an interesting kind of arrangement of hoops to jump through. Like, what an interesting little circus to like get somebody this job that's not Doug Bradley. And I totally I give him credit for taking the swing. I just think it's funny that like, all right, we finally have a female Pinhead, and like, you guys can hate me for saying this, it's not really a female Pinhead. Kind of, yeah. We can have fun with the language and make it seem like that, but it's not really. So you still didn't even give like a woman the opportunity to play Pinhead. So it's kind of a shame. Like at this point, I'm sort of like, fuck it. Let's actually have like, if Alyssa Sutherland from Evil Dead Rise played Pinhead, how unsettling would that be? Because she has this really interesting, I mean, she's just got a very angular, different kind of look. Like I think Alyssa Sutherland is like beautiful in her own, you know, it's in a different way. It's not a conventional, you know, she's got things about her that are conventional, but she's got an unconventional look. I think that's one of the reasons why people love Deadite Ellie so much, is because Deadite Ellie looks freaky deaky. And that's just the first name that popped up in my head. Like when I'm thinking like, oh, who would be a really good like female Pinhead? And I'm like, well, you'd want to go with somebody that could look a little like otherworldly, you know? So yeah. Anyways, hopefully I didn't lose you guys by saying that. I'm not trying to be controversial, not trying to you know, make anyone feel bad or anything like that. That's not what it's about. The way I feel about all that kind of stuff that we're sort of circling around is, look, I'm going to believe what I believe. I've got my morals. I've got my boundaries. I've got, you know, things that I am not willing to compromise myself, right? I understand that other people have those as well. And I would never sit there and tell somebody that they have to live by the language that I tell them they have to live by. I would never tell somebody that they have to live by my morals or my beliefs or whatever. But also at the same time, on the same token, I'm going to speak my mind freely, and I'm not going to be like scared to even broach a topic, because I just think we could be a little bit more brave than that and talk about the things that are difficult to talk about. So, you know, really it's a conversation about casting Pinhead and just how I thought, like, I'm like, wow, the mental gymnastics I'm going through just trying to figure out what the thought process here is kind of crazy. That Resident Evil 4 remake, I shit you not, I think it's better than the original. I do think it's better. Yeah. Yeah, I, you know, felt more cartoon than gritty and lived in. Yeah, I mean, the digital effects are definitely felt. I didn't feel like it was like cartoon isn't what popped into my mind, but I get what you're saying. It didn't feel very gritty or lived in. Yeah, that's too bad. Scream 96 with horror trivia for tonight. Paula is using her membership milestone chat. I love it. Guys, it looks like it's still 50-50. I'm going to err on the side of watch party unless I see it overwhelmingly go swinging the other way. How about that? Let's see here. Hey, you know I think that the best thing about the Scream franchise, even though it's led to some toxicity, I think the best thing is just like the fandom is sort of, there are allegiances, but people have got like, some people came up with 5 and 6, you know, in their 20s or late teens, and those are their favorite. And then we've got us old timers that, you know, really love those originals and everything like that. And it is an interesting fandom. I dig it. Well, I dig it except for the toxic part. I can take all the Stu believers you got, just the people on Twitter that are just like, dude, not even just on Twitter. I guess you see them everywhere. If you guys go to my Melissa Barrera video where I talked about that whole interview she did with Variety, man, some of the comments are like, they're basically like, she can say and do whatever she wants because she was wronged. And I'm like, okay. So Melissa Barrera gets to be the Punisher. I get it. Let's see here. Adrian, welcome on in, man. Hope you're doing well. Scream theories are fun, and I love Scream content, but got to mix the topic up and what you're talking about. Scream horror movie news at the moment bores me. Yeah, there's not much going on with the horror news. It's a little light right now. You know, it's been basically, we're in the season now of the TV shows and movies dropping their trailers, right? Because we're ramping up for spooky season. So we might hear bigger, like I would imagine September and October, there might be some stuff that's already percolating or happened in the scene, in the, you know, background of everything, and then we're just going to know about it in September and October because they want to release that news during spooky season height, you know. But yeah, there's not much like solid horror movie news going on right now. A lot of rumors and stuff. Man, I did watch some Boston Legal. I did not know that Wes made a cameo. Parker Posey played one of the lawyers in her character called West to speak in a trial in defense of her client. There you go. Love Parker Posey. Let's see here. I may be crazy, but I think Jamie Kennedy could do a great Freddy. Jamie, interesting. What do we think? Do we think Jamie Kennedy could pull it off? I'm looking him up. So I would say Jamie, if you want to play Freddy, let's get you a chef. Let's get a chef that can give you a really nice, healthy diet. We don't need an emaciated look, but let's get you looking like a healthy 56-year-old. So he's 56. That to me makes me balk a little bit, Jen. But I'm one of those people where I'm like, I don't want anyone that's over 45 starting to play Freddy. Now, if they're 45 when they're like making their last couple Freddy movies, that's cool. But starting to play Freddy, I want somebody that can play Freddy for 10 years. So yeah. But I think Jamie could pull it off. I mean, I haven't seen him act in a while, but he's like, he's got a comedic background. He's got a background that's a lot bigger, I think, than most people think, because his career had some, kind of weird moments in it and everything. So we usually, we think of stuff like the Son of the Mask and Malibu's Most Wanted and all that. But I mean, really, he's had like a pretty solid career. Insomniac 13 says, give me Jaws 19. I don't need 5 through 18. Hey, 5/18 is my birth date. Just jump right to 19, like Back to the Future Part 2 promised us. There you go. I think it would be killer if they did something like that. Like when it's a great joke, like, Naked Gun did the Naked Gun, then they did Naked Gun 2.5, and then the next one was 33 1/3. And I kind of like that. Just like, didn't Thanksgiving do that too? Isn't Thanksgiving 3 the second Thanksgiving movie? A real photo shoot. It's not AI. It is beautifully done. I'm not sure if you went to somebody or you have a friend that does photography, but it is like very well lit, and it looks really good. It looks just like those promo photos that they had from, was it 5 when they did those? Is that when that was? Yeah, I watched it once and I'm like, never again. Never again. What's happening, Gene? Welcome on in. One of our great channel members, Gene Breakenkind. Oh my gosh, just myself, my phone, and my mask from the 25th anniversary. Well, it looks really good. Whatever you did in post to really like pull it all together. I mean, man, really great capture. Great work. I thought you were referring to shows I'm a little bit baked. I haven't seen many reboots. Oh my gosh, speaking of baked, Liz, can I join you? I've seen the Halloween reboot that Rob Zombie did, which I like seeing Rob Zombie touch on. Liz, have you seen his Halloween 2? I like that one even more. And then, Liz, other reboots, if we're talking movies, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot from 2003, I really like that one, or remake. The Friday the 13th remake from 2009, I dig that. Dawn of the Dead from 2004, Zack Snyder's like breakout movie. I love that one. I mean, the remakes from the 80s are great if you haven't seen John Carpenter's The Thing, David Cronenberg's The Fly, or Chuck Russell's The Blob. Those remakes from the 80s are fantastic. I'm trying to think if I've seen a remake the Toxic Avenger remake from last year was really fun. It's like horror, but it's fun horror. It's like really bloody and gross, but what a wild ride. I know not everyone loved that movie. I just loved every little bit of it. Elijah Wood was so good in The Toxic Avenger. So good. And like playing a character where he doesn't just look like, oh, it's Elijah Wood in small people clothes. And Kevin Bacon in Toxic Avenger. Yeah, there's a whole bunch. People will poo-poo remakes all the time, and I get it. But man, there are some that are like, hey, it was time. It was time. See here, what do we got? Dot, you were too sweet giving the hellos. Thank you, Jen. Yeah, if you send it over to me on Facebook, I'll be able to wrap my mind around it, and maybe we can work it into something at some point. Yeah, I do like Paula's ideas. Did I miss one? You're talking about the Scream, but you're talking about the Scream watch party with the trivia. Yeah, I do like that one. I might play that Code Veronica one. I've played through the remake numerous times. It's just been like over a year since I've played it. So it's like, oh my God. Like I started another playthrough on a finished file just so I've got all the health, the vest, the best knife in the biz, like all that kind of stuff. So yeah. I sounded like Pinhead in space. Is that what Cher sounds like? If you believe in Pinhead in space, I can feel something inside my soul. Oh my goodness. Well, it looks like I didn't lose any of the audience going off on my Hellraiser 2022 thing, which I'm sure would be a big problem for some people, but whatever. You guys are amazing. That's why I love y'all so very much. The one I'm referring to is the Danny Boyle movie, Shallow Grave, from 94. I had no idea he was even making movies in 1994. There we go. Okay, it is the first one that pops up. I just wanted to make sure. Oh, there we go. Is that Ewan McGregor? Is that Bridget Fonda? No, it just looks like her. All right. Christopher Eccleston. I recognize that guy too. That guy became a huge star. Yeah, I totally recognize that guy. I'm trying to like figure out, oh, didn't that guy play Doctor Who? I think that guy played Doctor Who, or he was in Doctor Who. Yeah, man, I think 3 is really good. 3 is like Hellraiser 3 and Candyman are like two of the sexiest like early 90s horror movies. As a franchise, I think yes. The first movie, I know a lot of people don't really like the first movie. I the practical effects like give me those Evil Dead feels from the first movie, and then I just love the tale of morality. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff, like Tales from the Crypt, Twilight Zone. Like I love a good tale of morality. But I do think the franchise is the franchise overrated? Well, I will say this. There's a lot of movies in the Hellraiser franchise for how good the quality of the overall franchise is, I would say. Yeah, 3's, well, once you see the CD Cenobite, you'll be like, ah, yes, I remember this one. What be your pleasure, sir? Sunday Horror Chat is going great. Evil Alex, welcome on in. Guys, we're locked in for like another hour because you guys reached our super chat goal. So I am here to just chill and talk about whatever. We are going to cover Halloween in our Write the Sequel stream next week. That is going to happen right at this time and place, 3 p.m. Eastern next Sunday. So keep an eye out for that. If you love the idea of just creative exercises and collaborating with everyone, then yeah, it'll be a good time writing a Halloween sequel. We'll figure out where in the timeline we're going to start, guys, and then we will write from there. And I guess if you want to do a prequel, like I don't know. I don't see a point in doing that, but we'll do a sequel for Halloween. If we do Scream, maybe we'll do a prequel. But yeah, it's going very well, Alex. Hopefully you're having a good one. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally cool with it just being like, just get somebody that kind of looks like Doug Bradley. Like, we're just so used to that look, That's why people, when they fan cast Freddy, a lot of people think, well, who's somebody that could look like the Robert version of Freddy, Yeah. And hey, M, at least you could still say we technically haven't had a female Pinhead. Technically. Her name is Alyssa. She's already based. She seems so tall to me, Alyssa Sutherland. And I'm curious, like, I'm going to look up how tall she really is. It might just be her features as well. Let's see here. Alyssa Sutherland. Height. 5'11". Okay. She's from Brisbane. All right. I did not know. Why did I not know she was Australian? Why did I just think she was New Zealander or English or something? But yeah, 5'11". I mean, yeah. I one time was, dating somebody that was like 5'8", and it seemed like she was 6 feet tall, You do you. It's healthy. Thank you, Em. I appreciate you. Well, you guys are just great because no one's no one's getting worked up either way. So how about it? That's what I like to see. I don't want anyone getting worked up either way. I saw him a month ago, and he looks pretty damn old. Yeah. I think you just need to find somebody that kind of looks like him. Yes, I did. I'm one of you, though. Yes, I'm one of you. But we're old now. We're the old timers. We're the old guard when it comes to Scream, right? Let's see what else we got here. Been a shitty year for horror, I think. I don't think so. But yeah, and it's not even over yet, right? We've got, 5 months left? So, yeah, Ice Cream Man. I'm hoping to see that tomorrow. If it's gotta be Scream Unseen for tomorrow at AMC theaters, I would imagine. So yeah, there's not going to be a bonus stream tomorrow night or anything. I'm still going to do my stream with the members, but at 7 p.m. Arizona time, I'm going to go check out the Scream Unseen, and I'm hoping it's Ice Cream Man. I think Ice Cream Man looks like a lot of fun. I think Resident Evil looks like it's a lot of fun too. And then I guess we'll see what else we got. But I don't know. I've really enjoyed, Bone Temple. I really dug that one. I had enough fun with Scream 7 for what it is. I really liked Whistle, even though no one else did. I really enjoyed Hokum. I really enjoyed Obsession. I dug that one. Backrooms was fine. Yeah, I would say I'm still waiting for a movie to really blow me away. As far as horror goes this year. Spider-Man kind of blew me away. As far as everything else goes, I was pretty surprised at how much I enjoyed the 2.5-hour movie that was Spider-Man Brand New Day. But man, it's got a lot of strong things going for it. Sadie Sink is incredible in that movie, and it's got a really good third act, Spider-Man Brand New Day. But as far as horror goes, yeah, I mean, Evil Dead Burn was a total letdown for me. I think Obsession is a really solid movie. It's not my favorite of the year. And it might not even be top 3 once the year's over. I guess we'll see how it all goes. Dave, Ash, and I have decided that we have to start spooky season fun 2 months ahead. I still feel like I should wait until September to get out decorations, though. I do wait until September, Liz, because I'm I will let myself celebrate spooky season intensely for 2 months because I talk about horror all the time anyways. So I'm always kind of celebrating horror in a sense, So I'll really pour it on September and October. And then really November is just, all right, now what's everything I couldn't watch in those 2 months of spooky season that I want to watch? And then December is we are going to watch Christmas horror because I love Christmas horror. Last year, I saw a lot of Christmas horror movies for the first time ever for me. And I can't wait to revisit some of those. Man, I have a blast with Christmas horror. So yeah, the whole rest of the year, I'm so pumped for. And it's tough for me to think about spooky season now because, guys, check this out. It is about 1:15 out here in the desert. The temperature is technically 110, but it feels like 117 outside. It's supposed to be a high of 113. That's air temperature. So we'll see. It's probably going to get to about 122 today as far as real feel goes. So yeah, that's why it's tough for me to think about spooky season at this point. We don't want bad luck putting up decorations too early. I'd say last week of September. I think it's okay to put them up in September, whenever in September. They're spooky season decorations. If you need them up for 8 weeks to feel good, then why not? Halloween never ends. Just add the deco that's still there. Exactly. Yeah, I'll take another hit too. Yeah, you're really good. Can you do some, can you make me look beautiful? Make me look like one of your French girls, Jack. Or whatever she says. Summertime starts July 5th for, Summerween starts July 5th for me. So I say, put the spooky decorations up, Missy. There you go. It is. It's, what else? Black candles. Good God, y'all. Have you guys seen Black Candles? It's crazy. That's Joe from Media Poop Shoot got me that poster. We Theron the Brutal, Skittles, and Media Poop Shoot, as well as myself, watched Black Candles one night. Somebody had mentioned it in a live stream, and now I'm pretty sure that it was a troll, because wow, what an experience. Black Candles is friggin' wild. I can't recommend it, but if you want to see something like pretty bizarre and pretty out there, with a really cool poster, the poster is the best part of the movie. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about Black Candles. It's bizarre. It is bizarre. I did like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. Hills Have Eyes was kind of lit too. I have not seen any Hills Have Eyes movies, and I keep on hearing that the remake of Hills Have Eyes, Alexander Aja's remake, is way better than the original. Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead, great remake. I think that one's pretty damn solid too. Yeah, Evil Alex, that's a good one. Yeah, I don't dig the remake as much as the original, but I do think it's very well done. Yeah. Baranowitz. What is that? How I say that? Baranowitz? Baranowitz. I think that's what it is. Hey there, this panel open? Don't worry if not. Well, we're just kind of talking about whatever. Yeah, so Chill Sunday Horror Hangouts. Welcome on in, Bear. Chill Sunday Horror Hangouts. We just kind of talk about whatever. It's Wes Craven's birthday today, so we're trying to figure out what to do for a stream later on to celebrate Wes, and it looks like it's going to be a watch party. And then, yeah, other than that, I'll be hanging out for another 45 minutes or so, and we will be talking horror, talking whatever. That was a good one. Yeah, man, that movie, that Maniac remake is brutal. It is tough. It's a tough watch. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, you could even get yourself a black tree with like purple decorations, right? Purple and orange decorations, stuff like that. It is pretty awesome. Like, yeah. I love all the decor and everything like that. Let's see what else we got going on here. The Psycho shot-by-shot remake needs to be erased from existence. I don't really dig it too much. It's not a shot-by-shot. Like, there are a lot of shots that are like, you know, where Gus is trying to, you know, copy Hitchcock one for one. But there are plenty of moments. There's actually a really good video. I can't remember who did the video, but there's a really great video out there where they're like, they just blow apart. It might even be Joe Blow, where they blow apart the whole myth that Gus Van Sant's Psycho is a shot-by-shot or shot-for-shot remake. But yeah, a lot of it is like emulated after that original movie for sure. We got Jamie Hart jumping on in, our original Death Squad mod and our Mama mod. Welcome on in, Jamie. Hope you're doing very well. Izzy, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well also, man. Welcome, welcome. And if I didn't say it, Jamie's also a channel member. She's been here since the very beginning. Was that better? Like, I just do covers of songs where I don't say any of the words, you know, and I just like make silly faces and just imitate the way the voice sounds. I did love it though when Cher did the you know, redid I Got You Babe with Beavis and Butthead. I thought that was super sweet. Very sweet of her to do that. I haven't even watched the trailer, I don't think. Is that the one that they're just calling Veronica this time around? If it plays like RE4, then I'm down. Now the RE2 remake, holy shit, that game is so tough. I dabbled in RE2, the original RE2 on PlayStation. I dabbled. I never played through the whole thing. I never had a PlayStation. So and I didn't have a 64. Like I went straight to GameCube and like I missed, there were pockets of my life where I was, you know, busy with music or relationships or whatever, and just didn't really like have the time to invest in video games, so I didn't spend the money on them. But like the RE2 remake, oh my god, I thought it was going to be, because the RE4 is not that difficult, you know, it has its like tough moments, but you can get by them like on a couple tries. The RE2 remake, I was like, oh, they are bringing it more back to the survival. This isn't, I thought they were going to remake it and make it a little more action heavy, make it a little softer, you know what I mean? Like the controls are great. I love like the getting rid of the tank controls are cool, but man, RE2 remake was tough. So I guess we'll see what I'll have to check out the Veronica trailer. Yeah. That's another remake. I've yet to see that one. I'm kind of lukewarm on the original Suspiria. Like, I enjoy it fine. But it's on like the, maybe it's a bit too trippy side for me. There's something about like when you get to a certain level of trippiness, I start to think, now, is this just weird to be weird? Or does this actually like play a role? You know, like a movie like Mandy that I recently watched that is pretty trippy and everything like that. I thought it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. Suspiria, I'm not saying one of the worst, but I do appreciate like the remake. Like, I love how in the remake of Suspiria, they are like, we're gonna make a new movie about witches at a ballerina school. And like they changed so much of it. And I like that they changed so much of it. Also, even though I'm not the biggest, like I'm not a Radiohead fan, I think the Tom York music in that Suspiria remake is really good. So good job, Tom. I can't stand your band, and I wish people would stop trying to convince me to listen to you guys and stop forcing me to listen to you guys. But good job on Suspiria. Yeah, it's true. It's just got it is the vibe, you know. It's the vibe. And you know, I grew up in a rainy, cold, cloudy, foggy place. You know, Asha, I know that it's not that, you know, your neck of the woods is always like that, but I think it's like England is known for having that vibe in the fall too. You know, it's got that spooky vibe. M for you as well. I mean, and anyone that lives in the Northeast, if you live in the Northeast, the Northwest, or you're, you know, across the pond, you know why that vibe is so comfy. There's something so comforting about it. And I'll tell you what, guys, as somebody that like grew up in that and then now lives in the desert, I pine for and I yearn for cloudy, gloomy days. Just an excuse to be inside, or an excuse to sit outside under the cover and listen to the rain and enjoy it. You know, there was a time like there were definitely times in my life. I mean, I love growing up where I grew up. Like, I wouldn't change it for anything. And and I don't dislike the rain, but when it rains for 7 days straight, you start thinking, I'd like to see the sun. It would be nice to see the sun again. Barbecue. I get serious about it too. What kind of barbecue, Jamie? What kind of barbecue? Yeah, enjoy that. Nom, 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 nom. Latina Sunshine, welcome on in. Hey, Davey, what's up? Hope you're good, bro. I'm doing very well. Welcome on in. Hopefully you're having a great weekend there, Latina Sunshine. I know we're kind of Sunday Scaries territory a little bit, but not quite yet. Not quite yet. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. What do you got, Latina Sunshine? You're relatively new here, at least as far as I know, or at least relatively new to the chitty chat side of it all. What's your favorite like horror kind of stuff? Like, what's a couple franchises you really dig, or, you know, some things that you gravitate towards in horror? I appreciate that, Lito. Thank you very much, man. Yeah, and really, and try, not only trying to be honest, just trying to not do it with any sort of like, you know, I'm not trying to like go after anyone. You know what I mean? That's not what it's about. An advent calendar pillow? What the fuck? I need one right now. Do they still sell them? Advent calendar pillow. That's hilarious. Yeah, 511 is. It's so funny how things are. You know, they're in relative terms. When you see a woman, especially in a movie, right? Because a lot of performers are relatively small. When you see a woman that's 5'11", she seems like she's 6'3". You know what I mean? Because it seems it's just more of an anomaly, right? So that's what I'm saying is 5'8" seems like 6 foot. And especially like sometimes women wear boots or, you know, heels or whatever, you know, might get an inch or two out of that. So yeah. If this is never going to happen, but if I were red carpeting with Alyssa Sutherland, she would be taller than me because she'd probably be wearing something that would put her over, like we're about the same height already, you know? Technically, you're very correct. I appreciate it, Em. I appreciate it. I'm also a woman, I think. You think, therefore you are. I mean, guys, you know that I appreciate nuance. So I think that nuance belongs everywhere. So again, not trying to say that like, hey, the way I think is just the absolute truth, just telling you the way I think. That's all. But I appreciate you guys so much for being very sweet, especially, you know, it's a topic we don't really talk about. At some point, though, when you're talking about Hellraiser, I think it just, we got to mention it, you know? It's part of the franchise's story, and it's nothing that needs to be like, you know, kept away. Are you 5'7"? Oh, shout out to the 5'7" crew. Oh, Dot is 5'7". Oh my goodness. 5'7", that's tall too. 5'7", 5'8", yeah. Latina Sunshine. Well, in the remake, yes. And in the subtext of the original film, it seems like that was intended to be like sort of presumed or assumed, I guess. But as far as the original script goes, it's, you know, child killer exclusively as far as the script is concerned. But yeah, I think it's safe to like people talk about him, you know, freely in that way. Today, can you dig it? Welcome on in. I know I'm super behind on the chat. I'm 15 minutes late, guys. Bone Temple was amazing. I really liked it a lot. I think Nia DaCosta showed some really good directing chops there. And I just love how thoughtful the movie is. It felt more like a Romero movie than I've seen in a while. You know, it felt more like a Romero movie in the way that they tackled like the uncomfortable stuff and the more serious themes and the decay of humanity in a situation like that. Yeah, I really, really dug that. Yeah, that's what I've always heard too, is that it was basically like in Wes's head canon, he was like, that's what it was intended to be, and he was just like, I don't need to put it in there. Yeah, I mean, I'll say this about Backrooms. I like the music, like the soundscape was cool, and I do like the visuals. There's not much of a story in that first Backrooms movie. The story is basically like, hey, if you don't get over your shit, you'll be stuck in the Backrooms. You know, it's like pretty much the whole point for both characters. They're both like stuck they can't get past something. Yeah, it was really good. I was like, oh my God, is this movie going to make me cry? Like the way they handle in Thunderbolts and in Spider-Man Brand New Day, the way they handle the emotion is done really well. And shout out to Michael Giacchino. That's how you pronounce his name. I had to memorize it. That's why I had to close my eyes and look through my card catalog in my brain. Giacchino. He did the music for Fantastic Four that I really loved. I noticed it in Fantastic Four, particularly when they were on their space journey to like originally go see Galactus or whatever. They're following that energy beacon or whatever. Yeah, I was like, man, his music's really good. And then in Spider-Man Brand New Day, I was like, oh, dude, when I saw his name pop up, I'm like, oh, that guy just kills it. Every movie he does. Yeah. Well, and apparently like the original movies or shorts on YouTube, like give you better context. I've never watched those original shorts or anything like that. I haven't played any of the games. I think they're kind of coexisting at the same time. But like, I mean, I trust Kane Parsons as a creator. I just want more, and I think we're going to get more from him in the sequel. She is so good in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I mean, she's great in Stranger Things. No complaints at all. I think she stepped it up. Like, I think her performance in Spider-Man Brand New Day, I'm like, dude, this is a tough job for her to jump into. I'm not going to talk spoilers. I'm pretty sure most people know which character she's playing because it's been kind of an open secret for a while, but I'm not going to say anything. But she's really good. Yeah. Let's see here. I can relate a lot to obsession because I'm disabled and my hubby is too, but not mentally. Gotcha. Well, I mean, I think a lot of people can relate to obsession. Like, I've been in relationships where I've seen some behavior that's not far off from what we saw in Obsession. The whole having the crash out, freak out at a restaurant or a public place where it's like, oh my God, like, I can't believe you're literally acting like a toddler throwing a fit right now. Like, I've experienced that. Being followed to the bathroom. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like your partner is like a cat that has a brain the size of a walnut and doesn't understand that you just want to, go to the bathroom. Being asked where you're going anytime you move slightly. Where are you going? Those kinds of things. So I think a lot of, people from all walks of life can relate with Obsession, and I think that's why it's gonna make $500 million. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, TJ Maxx is like a catch-all department store, and it's got a lot of things that are like, oh wow, the clothes here, like, everything's been marked down. Like, the clothes here aren't amazing, but like, I need a belt that like kind of looks like that for something, an outfit or a costume I've got. And then yeah, you can like walk over to the other side and it's like, oh, I found some shoes I can use. And there's also, Liz, I don't know if they have these where you live. There's Home Goods is one that's out here. I don't even know whereabouts you are in the country, Liz. I would imagine you may be East Coast, but yeah, out here in the desert, they've got Home Goods. But we've still got Ross and TJ Maxx and everything like that. Izzy, I hope you dig it. Well, if you believe, smoke 'em if you got 'em. Where we stopped? Yeah, it's basically like that. Hey, this is the stuff that got sent back. Ooh, feel like Davey needs to do a watch party for the evil bong whilst hitting. Holy cow. M, you use the word whilst so often and so well. I just don't think anyone's given it the credit that you're giving it. You are giving whilst all the play. And I love that. Like, it's one of my favorite things about watching or listening to one of M's videos is I'm like, oh, here we go. She's not going to do while. No. This is whilst. So good, M. On Wes's B-Day, Davey admits he's never seen any of the Hills Have Eyes movies. Well, I mean, he directed the first one, right? Did he direct any of the others? I don't think so. I mean, isn't the sequel, like, wasn't it not even really a sequel? They just called it The Hills Have Eyes 2. They, like, made a movie and were like, oh, well, let's just change the name and make this a sequel to The Hills Have Eyes. It's true. I have seen Last House on the Left. Like, that movie kind of broke me, and maybe there's a reason why I haven't watched The Hills Have Eyes, because Last House on the Left is really tough. Yeah. Those, like, our revenge movies are... there's something satisfying about the revenge. There is. And the film is very well made. Other than the weird, like, Barney Fife music, which, like, Halloween 5 borrowed, anytime the cops came into the movie, it felt like the movie switched to, like, a 60s sitcom. Really bizarre, actually. But yeah, Last House on the Left, man, that shit fucked me up. Let's see here. What do we... Evil Bong is hilarious, Em. I want to see Davey's reaction. I've not ever seen Evil Bong. I know. I like cheesy horror, and I like cannabis. You'd think I'd already seen it, but nope. Let's see here. I have a story about an encounter I had with my neighbors in the elevator where I suggested a tree for every holiday. They responded with the most racist shit I've ever heard. Oh my, now I need to know. Will you tell me, will you share that story with me in a DM, Liz? I have to know. I'm like, how can you turn a tree for every holiday into the most racist shit you've ever heard? Oh my gosh. I don't even know. What's happening? Shannon, welcome on in. Welcome. Oh, they are calling it Code Veronica. Okay. Same team. Over the shoulder, cool. And I will give them I'll give them credit for staying, even though they're like, hey, we're gonna make them all look like RE4. We're gonna go to that model for the look and everything. I do appreciate that they're like, oh, but it's still gonna be tough as nails. Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4 is relatively easy because there's ammo all over the place. And Mr. X chasing you around. Oh my gosh, that guy. I really love. I don't know if you ever played the on-rail shooters. There was the Umbrella Chronicles, I think was the first one. And gosh, I can't remember what the sequel was called. I played the sequel more. But they're just, it's like an arcade style on-rail shooter. I played them on the Wii. They're so fun on the Wii with the motion controls. Like, it's so much fun. And man, Mr. X in that game is a blast. Yeah. Dark Side Chronicles, that was the second one. Umbrella Chronicles is the first one. Dark Side Chronicles is the second one. And they bounce all over the story. It's really nice. It's so good, Jamie. It is. I think it's better than the original. It is just they get rid of some of the annoying, the quick time events and all that kind of stuff. They get rid of those. They get rid of a couple of the sequences that are just sort of like, anytime I do a playthrough of the original RE4, I'm like, oh, this sequence, some of those they get rid of, and then some of them they just change and make a little bit better. Yeah. Eli Cortez, one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods. Eli, what's happening, man? I hope you are feeling so much better today. Seems like you've been fighting this thing for a little bit, and I feel for you, man. Being sick in the summer is terrible, and hopefully you've turned that corner. Thank you so much for joining us, Asha. Hey, man, next week, write the sequel, Asha. Next week, we're going to do Halloween. So, yeah. And I'm going to close out the poll. 35 votes. You guys overwhelmingly want to watch Party with 63% voting that way. So there you go. Let's see what else we got going on here as I take another hit. We're just having a chill Sunday horror hang. Thank you for sharing that, Eli, and for sharing M's new podcast channel as well. So I will say this, everyone, even though I haven't seen the remake to Suspiria, I did watch the Red Letter Media review of it. So I pretty, it's was spoiled, but this was years ago. I watched that like 3 or 4 years ago. So I kind of forgotten, maybe even 5 years ago now, whenever they released it. So yeah, I mean, it looked like, I was very convinced with like just how good the whole thing looks. So I do need to watch it. It's got some fantastic actresses. I think Tilda Swinton plays like 3 characters in the movie, and she's always really fun. So yeah. Ever see Drive Angry with Nick Cage? I have not seen that one. No. Thank you for sharing Liz's channel as well, Eli. Yeah, guys. Miss Liz does gaming, and sometimes it's Pokemon. Sometimes it's something a little more modern and action heavy, but it's always super chill and really fun. If you're ever like yesterday, I was doing some rearranging in the room here, and I was like, I'm going to put on Liz's live stream and just like hang out with everyone. She's super bubbly and giggly, and it's just like, I don't know. It's just refreshing. Like, there's so much on the internet that you can listen to get you riled up and all that kind of stuff. It's like, sometimes it's nice to just be like, somebody that's just like laughing at themselves while they play a video game and talking about titties. I've not had rain for a month. I miss it slightly, to be honest. That's way too long to go without, especially at that latitude, in that kind of climate, right? I mean, I don't know if you guys are technically in a rainforest, but I would say like a lot of the country has those, characteristics, right? Evergreen trees, moss, granite. Yeah, we haven't had, I think the last time it rained out here, it was, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and it happened in the middle of the night. So it was like 3 a.m. So we didn't get to enjoy it. It maybe lasted for an hour out here. But so guys, the Phoenix Valley is so huge. It's crazy. So you can be in the Valley of Phoenix and drive on a freeway no traffic if you're going 80 miles an hour on the freeway, which is 15 miles an hour over. So we'll just give you that. You could still, from one end of Phoenix to the other end of Phoenix, we're probably talking about an hour 15 to an hour and a half on the freeway. No traffic, like just being able to cruise along. So that's just wild to think that just in our city, and that's just going end to end. So we have all sorts of like freeway loops in Phoenix, which is really cool the way they build these loops, because what you do is you strategically place these loops around the main freeway, and it just is supposed to ease traffic up everywhere, and it gives you more options of like getting around the city. But yeah, so they'll get, an hour or an hour and a half away, they'll get tons of rain, and we'll be sitting here and it'll be like kind of windy. And then that weather just never gets to us. It just goes from south to north. So wherever I'm placed in the valley, we just don't get a lot. Yeah. Voldemort's favorite. Oh, geez. I did not know that. And then I balk at watching the Suspiria remake. The only thing that's kept me from watching it is that it's like 2 hours and 35 minutes or something crazy like that. Jealous. I will trade. Jamie, I will trade. I would love some rain and, all sorts of crazy stuff. I want some lightning, all that. We had major flooding last week. Oh my gosh, I hope everyone's okay, Jen. Whereabouts, obviously no one, don't need to know exactly where you live, but whereabouts in the country are you at? My best friend growing up was 5'11" and I'm 4'10". I would get so mad when she put heels on. Yeah, if you're 5'11", there's not much of a need, but I get it. It makes the legs look all buff and everything like that, right? That's I guess why they were created. Got to be walking around uncomfortable, looking toned. Well, I appreciate that, Liz. Use the name Red Carpet in the name Alyssa. Oh my gosh. I love that you say resisting temptation to morph that into a tasteless joke. So you got to do the highbrow version of your tasteless joke, Lito. I dig it. That's a smart man there. It didn't even occur to me. I really was talking about, a film being released, that Red Carpet. Oh, you are 5'7". All right. Both of you and Dot. Tall ladies. Good for you. Yeah. I don't have a type. I realized. I was thinking about it the other week and like going back through my catalog of experience or whatever you want to call it. And I was like, man, I really don't. I think my type is woman. I think that's my type. And then it's just about like, if the personality and the look stuff, like if those things make sense to me. I think that's, of course it starts off with that first impression on the personality, and everyone likes a good face. But yeah, I don't know. I think my type is just woman. For starters. Have a great one, Em. Thank you so much for hanging out. Really do appreciate you. Shannon's 5'3". All right. 5'3". A little shorty, but not as short as Linda. My favorite Romero film is actually Dark Half. Dark Half's really good. Yeah, I mean, I love Martin. I think Martin is like one of his movies that really doesn't get talked about enough. Some of the best editing in any one of his movies. I think John Amplas is incredible. And I think that movie walks that line of ambiguity so very well. And it's just a really cool modern take and thoughtful take on the vampire. I think Martin is one of the, like, it's probably the most creative vampire movie. And it's got to be one of the best ones I've seen. Although admittedly, like, the vampire subgenre is not, I mean, like, I like it, but I'm not like, ooh, that's my favorite, Let's see what else we got here. Didn't hate Backrooms, but the end was, ugh. Yeah, Captain Clark I didn't find Captain Clark scary at all. He was weird, nightmarish, but not even slightly scary. It didn't even, like, I don't know. I was sort of like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? Oh, and apparently blackface is okay as long as you're, you know, in the back rooms. If you want to know what I'm talking about, it's just the stunt. The guy that did the stunts is a former European basketball player. All right. Cried several times in Spider-Man. Yeah. I mean, it is, yeah, it's heart-wrenching to say the least. And I think there are like numerous ways this movie can get you. Yeah. Yeah, it is very well done. I highly recommend, if you're a fan at all of those kinds of movies, you know, those comic book kind of movies, I do really recommend checking out Brand New Day. I mean, I liked it better than The Odyssey. I probably liked it better than I would say it's like a 4-star movie. And you guys know how protective I am of 4 and 5 stars. I would say Spider-Man Brand New Day is a 4-star movie. And probably the best Spider-Man movie in the franchise besides Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. For me, just in my opinion. Watch Doctor Strange. Giacchino. I had to sit and think about the name. Giacchino composed that too. Man, he composed so much. I pulled up his IMDb after watching Fantastic Four a year ago, and then just yesterday, the other day, I pulled it up again, and I'm just like, man, Doctor Strange, Fantastic Four, he's done so much. Like, I was kind of blown away at all the movies that he's worked on. I was like, damn, dude, this guy composes for like 3 movies a year for the last like decade, it seems. Really impressive resume. And I just happen to like his music. I don't know what it is. It brings a little something different. Yeah, I felt like the voices, the arrangement, you know, the melodies are really beautiful in Brand New Day, but it's also like the voices that he chose to use for those melodies. Derek, welcome on in, man. Hope you're doing very, very well. Very, very well. I fucking love Home Goods. I'm in Utah. Okay. Yeah, Home Goods, and then World Market. Do you have World Market there? I love World Market. Oh my God, you can get like all the foreign candies and cookies. So you can get like stuff from Asia. You can get like, dude, the English, like the British cookies. Oh, or biscuits, I guess I should call them. Oh my God, I love the UK cookies. And like sodas, like specialty sodas you can't get anywhere else. Sugar, like soda with sugar cane cane sugar instead of you know, high fructose corn syrup. So it's just, yeah, World Market. That's a really fun spot too. Yeah, it can get crazy. And unfortunately, some people like either don't get obsessed or don't show the obsession until they don't have access to you anymore, you know, and then they just want to like tear it all down. It's wild. It's wild. Pass on that. Looking forward to Beyond the Spot. I haven't seen any of the Spider-Verse animated movies yet. Not one of them. No Way Home felt like the Fast Five of Spider-Man movies. Yeah, it's definitely got, yeah. And I mean, Brand New Day has a lot of characters. You know, it does have a lot of characters in it. So it still doesn't feel like a solo Spider-Man movie. But I would say like the major crux of the story and the major like theme is driven by Spider-Man and then paralleled with one of the other characters specifically. And then I would say this, another thing too, again, I'm not going to get any spoilers, but there's something that Peter does in this movie where I'm like, oh, this is going to be massively consequential for the MCU moving forward. Like there's something that he does where I'm like, he's now technically like, you could probably retroactively call him a villain. And it's going to spill into so much of what's coming. I fully believe that. And I was hoping they would give us a little bit more of a hint that like, hey, this is what's happening. But I'm like, okay, they could be cute and try to hide it now. But I know what's going to happen with this one thing here and this thing that Peter did that maybe he shouldn't have done. So it's still, I guess you could say it's bloated as far as how many characters. Like they don't need the Punisher in this movie. Like the chemistry is fine between Frank and Peter. It's fun chemistry. But they don't need the Punisher. Also, don't nerf the Punisher, Marvel. Like, all the comic book fans know who the Punisher really is, and he is a stone cold killer if he has to be. And they just nerf the hell out of that in this movie. It's, you know, it's whatever. I won't say anything else about it. But what do we expect from Marvel, right? What do we expect? I am pumped to hear that you are feeling better, Eli. Yes. He directed the first sequel. Oh, okay. Why did I think that was one that was like named something different and then they turned it into The Hills Have Eyes too? Or am I thinking of something else? What's happening, Daniel? Welcome on in, man. Hope you are doing very, very well. Yeah. So I haven't seen the remake. I don't know if you're talking about the original, Dot. I've not seen the remake, which looked to be pretty tough as well. But yeah, it is. I mean, those characters definitely, like, they get their comeuppance. Like, that part is satisfying. But it's a very difficult experience leading up to that. Yeah. Produced the remake. I figure he was involved in the remake, at least on a producer level. Yeah. You know, after watching The Last House on the Left, I was like, I don't know if I can trust this guy's early work to not upset me. Silent Hills Have Thighs. Dude. Oh my God. We have a Silent Hill game or movie, and we hire a chick that brings on the thick. You know what I mean? Hire that one chick. Who's the woman online? She's like a reporter somewhere. I know you guys have seen her clips where she reads like tweets that people send in or comments that people leave, because she's a bigger girl, but she's like, she works out too. So she's toned, but she's also like, yeah, she's got the thickness, you know what I mean? So she just sort of like has fun with the comments that people leave. They hire her for a Silent Hill movie and call it Silent Hills Have Thighs. The Silent Hills Have Thighs. I remember seeing the trailer and thinking, wow, that looks like a really solid remake and a really good modernization. And the trailer, like, you're like, I don't think they're gonna pull any punches. So I think I should watch that remake just to finish it off, finish off that little itty bitty franchise. And then, yeah, I do have to watch The Hills Have Eyes. I got no reason not to, They asked me what a Kwanzaa tree would consist of and then followed up with what they think a Kwanzaa tree would have, and I was blown away. I don't even know enough about Kwanzaa to even guess. I mean, I would imagine I can kind of guess as to what they would say. It's probably run-of-the-mill, bottom-of-the-barrel, low-hanging fruit, racial epithets, and stereotype cliches. Usually that's what people go for, right? It's nothing creative or thoughtful. I mean, not that I'm saying it should be. Kwanzaa, is Kwanzaa a harvest holiday? I think it is, right? Is it a harvest holiday? Because I mean, it makes sense, right, that in certain parts of Africa, harvest could come a little bit later in the year because it might be, pretty damn warm. I don't know. But yeah, I can sort of imagine what some dumbass would say about that. As if that's really the conversation you're trying to have in the elevator. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, I think it's like, probably, I'm imagining you, Liz, in your bubbly voice being like, I just think every holiday should have a tree. Like a very just kind of silly thing, that like a pink tree for Valentine's Day, like a pastel tree for Easter, like that kind of thing. But no, this person was like, no, I think I need to get out some of my sociological anger out here in the elevator. Is it the elevator of the building you live in too? Like you're probably going to see this person again. Shannon, did I miss a super chat? I am so sorry if I missed a super chat. Oh, I was just late getting to it. No, I didn't skip it though. I didn't skip it, but thank you for reminding me. Yes. I do really like the first Doctor Strange movie. I did not like Multiverse of Madness. And I know Sam Raimi directed it, but it really, talk about nerfing someone. That movie looked like it has Sam Raimi's name on it, but it was actually directed by committee, is the way that, other than Doctor Strange turning into an Evil Dead 2 Deadite at the end, which I appreciate. Is it now crossover universe? Oh my God. It had some moments at the end of the movie. But for the most part, I thought Multiverse of Madness was a total mess. Man, I really couldn't stand that at the end, the villain Scarlet Witch is just like, you know what? You're right. I don't want to be bad anymore. Okay, that's how we're going to do that. Damn. I have heard so much about Music of the Heart, but I have not seen that one yet. I have not. Biohazard, the Dark Side. Oh, they did an arcade game of Dark Side Chronicles. Yeah, I played the version that was on Wii. So I've never seen it out in the arcade. But I do love a good on-rail shooter. If you're walking around an arcade and you happen to catch me, I'm probably playing an online or an on-rail shooter, or I'm doing something like Galaga. Well, that's the kind of nerd I am. I'm Galaga at 16th notes on the button. If you keep that rhythm, you could really get it going. You could really, really get it going. We like happy and cozy on my channel. We sure do. Of course, Liz, of course. It's something that I like celebrating here. And, one of the great things about having Eli on the moderator team, all of the moderators have they all do a great job moderating, and then they each have their little kind of niche that they sort of honestly carved out for themselves. So I love that about Eli's presence, is that he, excuse me, shares the links of other creators. Room for everyone on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So chill. So damn chill. And Jamie, I know you're a big horror gamer, so I'm sure Liz will be getting into some even more spooky games, because you've been doing some spooky stuff over there, Liz. I would imagine September and October are going to be spooky heavy, right? Are you going to play the Halloween game on your channel? I mean, right? That would make sense. I guess unless your audience might not dig it, whatever. I'm sitting here let's talk shop, Liz. In the middle of my stream in the chat, let's go ahead and talk shop here. I totally fell out with pro wrestling right around that time, 90, 91. Yeah, I enjoyed wrestling for a few years, but then I sort of was like, I'm going to move. I'm going to be nerdy about something else. I don't know what it was. Music, I guess. Music. Oh, you're up in New York. Oh, up in, right. Is Albany Western, or is it just kind of central? I think it's kind of central up in the northern part. Nobody goes 65 in Phoenix. Well, here's what I do, guys, because 20 miles an hour or over is criminal speeding. So I go 19 over when I can, a good 84 on the freeway. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Yeah, I think there you go. Very similar. I look for those kinds of qualities as well. I look for somebody that's motivated and driven and has their own thing going. Doesn't need anyone, but man, it'd be really cool if they would be into sharing some time. That's what, before getting into my most recent, relationship, I was like, I'm just going to be alone unless I can find these things that I'm very specifically looking for. It's not enough. It's not worth it to, at the point that I'm at in my life, I'm like, it's not worth it to just try and make something work if it ain't working, But yeah, being able to make someone laugh, that's the definition of charming, right? Charming and disarming. I think it does both of those things. Yeah. Yeah, it makes you relaxed. It makes you feel comfortable. And I think humor, to me shows like just a different kind of intelligence, or just like it shows a level of intelligence that goes beyond just being like book smart, you know? So I think that's like, especially for, you know, when a lady makes me laugh, I'm like, man, props, smarty two shoes, as what's his face would say in Drowning Mona. Fallen 1998 by Denzel Washington. Spider-Man Brand New Day copied it. Oh, I don't think so. No, I get what you're saying, Maverick. And we don't want to talk like spoilers or anything here. If you could be sweet enough to not do that. But yeah, I mean, it's totally different. And it's not like we haven't seen something like that in comic book movies before, right? Yeah. Let's see what we got here. That's how I rank them. Raimi, Spidey 2, Brand New Day, No Way Home, Spidey 1, etc. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to outdo Spider-Man 2 for me. I love Alfred Molina's take as Octavius. I love the, you know, just the whole Doc Ock, just everything about it. Tragic villain. Oh my God. Love it so much. Peter, like, kind of losing his powers, losing his confidence. Love that. We've kind of seen that maybe a bit too much in the franchise at this point, but that was the first time they did it. I dig it there. Yeah, and just like Sam Raimi really letting loose, and it feels a lot more like a Sam Raimi movie than the first movie did, even though I enjoy the first movie just fine. Lost, the Abrams Trex film. Yes, I can't remember all of them, but I did take a look at his IMDb just the other day, and I was like, fuck, dude, this guy's been like constantly working on big movies for years. Jerry Goldsmith is awesome. No, his music is incredible. Yeah, Jerry Goldsmith is dope. Really, really good stuff. The chicken was amazing. Hell yeah, Jamie. Holy cow, guys, this is crazy. We're at an hour and 52 minutes already. The last time I looked to see how long we would have been running, it was like 58 minutes. And I was like, cool, guys, we got another hour. And that hour just like really, really flew by. It really did. Let's see what else we got. Lito, take care, man. Have a good one. Great seeing you. Guys, we are going to have a watch party later on. What do we want to do? Scream? Is that what we want to do? A Scream watch party? Big Rick James jumping on in. What's happening, Big Rick James? Welcome on in, man. Just stumbled across your channel. You got a new follower. Thank you so very much, man. Really do appreciate it. I'm a huge Michael Myers fan, so I love your icon there. And yeah, Big Rick, if you're still hanging out, we talk horror a lot here. A lot of live discussion, a lot of sharing the space with the chat. I really dig doing that. We cover horror news and stuff like that. We get into, you know, friendly debates, all that kind of stuff, and a whole bunch of other nonsense, but a lot of live streaming. So if you dig streamers, or even if you have a long commute and you like replays, this is a good spot for you. So welcome, man. Welcome to the fold. Noah, welcome on in. So write the sequel. It's going to be, so if you click the vote on the, wait, what is that really? I didn't know that my, I think that maybe either YouTube missed something or I missed something, because there's a link pinned in the chat, Noah. It says vote on the community. That's all it says. I must have, I don't know what happened. But if you click the link, it'll take you to a poll on the channel, Noah. And really, it looks like it's going to be the sequel to Halloween. That's what it looks like it's going to be. Because Halloween is winning 39%. It's beating out Scream 39% to 33%. So I will let that go, and I will make a thumbnail. If Halloween reaches 50% at any point, I'm going to call it. But I'll let it play out for the next few days. So click that link, vote if you haven't voted already. And then the only other thing, Noah, that we'd have to figure out, and we'd figure it out next Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern. It'll still be Chill Sunday Horror Hangout, but it's going to be the sequel. And we will, at that point, we'll figure out where in the timeline are we going to start. Are we going to do a sequel to the original film? Are we going to do something totally modern? Do we just want to reboot it and just give Michael a brand new beginning? Or do we want to pick a spot in the franchise, pick up after 2? Laurie's in college, whatever. We'll figure it all out, and then we will you know, within about an hour and a half or so, we'll just kind of piece together a little, you know, kind of synopsis and everything. Should be fun. Should be fun. Considered upstate. It is Eastern. Gotcha. Okay. And it is the capital, correct? As far as I know. Oh, yeah. Come October, nothing but horror, which I did last year too. Hell yeah. Still need to continue the Zelda marathon. Well, if you're playing Majora's Mask or even Twilight Princess by that time, like those two movies are pretty like, there's a lot of horror, like not even undertones. Just, I mean, Majora's Mask is like pretty horrific, right? Aaron, thank you so much for being a member for 13 months, dude. That means you've unlocked the King Michael icon. Well, you unlocked it last month, after a year. Thank you so very much, man. That's incredible. That is awesome. Super Tenor celebrating 13 months of channel membership, guys. How awesome is that? More excited for Hellraiser than anything. That game looks pretty cool too. That is a really cool universe for a video game. A Nightmare on Elm Street. Where's that video game? Hey, Paramount and Warner Brothers, why don't you figure that out first while you're writing your movie or taking pitches for your movie, right? That's what I've done, yeah. Like going on dates still, but once you start giving red flag energy, I'm out. And well, and here's what I learned too, and I'm not trying to just like give you advice or anything, but you know, if something seems like a red flag, what I've learned is like, just bring it up. Just bring it up. And then the response to that will tell me everything I need to know. Is the red flag truly a red flag, or was it just something where I was like, huh? And then we were able to like figure it out, you know? Because I think that's the big thing. If you notice something about someone that seems like a red flag, and if they can't talk about it or talk about it reasonably and, control their emotions, God forbid, be an adult that can, talk about tough stuff. Yeah, then that's like, to me, that's like, okay, cool. Green flag then, because no matter what, you're going to have issues. So being able to find someone that you can actually talk about issues with, at least for me, is super high on the list. I mean, I would imagine it is for most people. And again, not trying to give advice. I'm just saying that's what I started doing when I recognized red flags, is like, well, I'm just going to like shine a light on that shit and then see how it goes, because that'll tell me what I need to know. Because if it feels at all like the last thing I was in, pew, I'm out of there, All right, guys, I'm going to wrap things up. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything big time or anything like that, or missing saying hello. It's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern, Jen. 9 p.m. Eastern. Exactly. Let it go, let it go. Never seen that movie, never heard the song. I've heard other people sing it. Yeah, right? Perfect. And I think, yeah, both of those, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess. I mean, I love Twilight Princess is my favorite Zelda game. And there were so many times in that game, whenever they dropped you into they drop the corral kind of thing around you, or like right? Is that the kind of a stable, like the fences, and you have to fight the 3 creatures, but you can't leave one alive. You can't kill 2 and leave the other one alive because it'll just screech and wake them up. Anytime I had to do any of that stuff, my skin would start like crawling with goosebumps. And I'm just like, man, Twilight Princess was so effective at really putting me there and making me feel, for a game that's not like a horror game, man, way more fright and chills than any horror game I've ever played. Yeah. Booyah. How'd the dentist go, Merc? How did the dentist go? Jigsaw celebrating 5 months of channel membership. Thank you so very much, Jiggy. Really do appreciate you. 5 months already. Corey Cunningham is the best person in John Carpenter's Halloween. Well, he's not in John Carpenter's Halloween. Yeah, Corey Cunningham doesn't exist yet in that movie. But I love John Carpenter's Halloween, and I do love the character Corey Cunningham. I think Halloween Ends is awesome. I'm not just a defender of that movie. I think it's the best sequel in the franchise. So, yeah, it is hard still, but it's really good and it's fair. It's not like, the Friday the 13th video game is like super cryptic. And at least the Nightmare on Elm Street game isn't cryptic. It's very straightforward. I love the Elm Street game on the NES. We've been talking about it a lot lately on the channel, which I'm totally down for. Yeah, Liz, if you ever do retro, like a retro section or a retro month or something, that Elm Street video game is really good. And it's 4-player simultaneous. One of the only games on the NES that was 4-player simultaneous, all on the screen at once. I don't know how you would do that. I don't know if there's a way to logistically do that, through online play. But man, I do really like that game quite a bit. Quite a bit. Let's see what else we got here. Fair enough, Liz. Have a great one. I'm sure I'll catch you on one of your streams very, very soon. Those are really good. Yeah. I mean, those are the top 3, right? I think to me, I didn't grow up with Ocarina of Time. I grew up with the originals. And Twilight Princess was the first time I really dove into one of the, the modern, everything changed with Ocarina of Time. Like the controls have pretty much been the same since then, but that was the game that set that, format or that foundation moving forward. So Twilight Princess is very much derivative of Time in that way. I mean, all the games pretty much have been since then. There's something about Twilight Princess. I love the dark, gritty look. To me, it's the perfect, I don't mind cell shaded Zelda, and Skyward Sword kind of has a pastel sort of look to it. I don't mind that kind of art style, but I love that Twilight Princess does have a little bit more of a worn, lived in real look. So that's probably what gives it the nod there. Yeah, Friday the 13th game's cool too. I need to play that Nightmare game. I need to bust out my Raspberry Pi. I think I'm going to get that going here pretty soon because I've got my little Raspberry Pi. I have it in a little NES case. It looks like an original NES, and I have games from 12 systems on that thing. NHLPA 93, the best game ever. Thank you so much, Jeff. Really do appreciate you. Thank you so much, and thank you for being a channel member, man. Guys, that is going to wrap it up for this one. We're just over 2 hours. Thank you so much to Paula, Emoji Matt, Jen, Emoji Matt, and Jigsaw for making the super chat goal happen. Thank you so much, guys, for doing that. And then, guys, it wasn't over there. Jen dropped another $5. Rebel Sky dropped a $2. Shannon dropped $2.79. And that's not it. Steph, aka Skittles, dropped some jewels. And guys, we're not even done there. Jen is celebrating 5 months of channel membership. Let's see that party hat emoji in the chat. And Paula celebrating 9 months. She wants that Scream watch party with horror trivia. We're gonna do that for you, Paula. And Jen, if you send me that horror game, if I'm able to do something with it, I'll give it the college try. Aaron is celebrating 13 months of channel membership. Thank you so very much, Aaron. And Jiggy celebrating 5 months. And wow, Jigsaw, in the 5 months that you've been here, what an impact, what an incredible amount of support you've shown for the channel. Thank you so much. And thank you to every single one of the channel members, the Patreon members, and our Death Squad mods. You guys keep everything running nice and smooth here. When the spidey senses are tingling, you guys jump in before things get too crazy. And I appreciate y'all so much. You guys are beautiful, and I love you. And I'll see you here in, a little less than 4 hours. How about that? It's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern, guys. We're going to do a Scream watch party with horror trivia. All right. So until next time, which is just a handful of hours, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care, y'all.